morning, everyone. Thank you for that nice introduction, and Dr. Santosh Babu, Somo, and thank you, Dr. Santosh Babu, for talking about the government's plan and providing connectivity and taking data and technology to the remotest part of the state, which is a great accomplishment if we were to do it. If not in 1 year, even in 2 years, if we complete that BharatNet project, it will be fantastic. Congratulations to all the authors here, the rest of the staff who helped in preparing these books. I'm sure it will be of great value. And it's certainly a special day, not only for the authors, but for Doyensys as a firm. You know, when you talk about special days, the thought that comes to my mind is what Amazon's Jeff Bezos says: every day is a special day. We'll have to make every day a special day. His motto in life is to make sure that when the employees enter the office every day, it feels like day one. So the headquarters of Amazon in Seattle is called the Day One building. And everywhere that they go, in every new city they set up a new facility, the first building is always called the Day One building, because he wants people to feel that this is a new day, a new challenge, the first day of my work, and that excitement and that inspiration to be there. And when he was asked, what is it that you do in order to make sure that people feel that it is day one every day? He said, there are only two things that I provide my employees, which is something that I tell all the people. Every day that the people come into the building, into Day One building or any building of Amazon, they should learn something new. Okay. I provide learning opportunities for the people. Learning opportunities related to their work or not related to their work, that doesn't really matter. These are all knowledge professionals. They have to learn. At the end of the day, when they go back, they should go back with the satisfaction that they have learned something. And what do they do with that learning? I provide them challenges. I stretch them, I challenge them, I tell them the type of goals, the type of vision that we have, not just about current businesses, but I talk to them about the future, about the space program, about mobility, about deep brain simulation, all kinds of things that happen. They may or may not be directly involved with those type of activities, but they know such things are possible. Those type of challenges are available for people to participate in. So if I provide a learning opportunity and a challenging environment for people in the firm, then they will be excited about coming into the organization. And the point that Dr. Santosh Babu mentioned, they will be able to realize their own potential to the fullest. What is the opportunity that a company is giving? You have great potential. Here is an opportunity for you to exhibit and realize your full potential. So that's the type of thing, that's the environment that large corporations or big and great companies are made of. It's all about people providing that opportunity and the challenges. And what are some of the ways that you can provide? We have seen some very many good examples here today. From the time that you started writing the book, at least the teams that started writing the book, to this day. Again, to quote one of those consultants and authors, his name is Daniel Smith, I think. Daniel Smith talks about 3 things, very, very simple, very nice environment that we need to have in an organization. First and foremost, the people should have autonomy. A sense of empowerment, because it's not as though only the CEO or the leadership that care about the well-being of the employees and the well-being of the customer. It is every single individual in the firm, including the person, the security guard is welcoming people into the company. And they would like to know, they would like to act autonomously, not being watched all the time. They need to take that ownership. And how does that ownership or autonomy come into play? When they understand the purpose of their being. What's the purpose of this company? Why am I here? What is this company trying to accomplish? Somi indicated the large purpose that Doyensys is chasing is we want to be considered as the number one consulting team, number one technology team in the whole world as far as Oracle technologies are concerned. It's a huge purpose. It's not an easy task. There are so many competing forces, so many competing individuals, but that's a purpose that's driving all of us. Initial stages, all of us take up a job, we enjoy the job, then we build a career, but ultimately where we want to get to is the purpose in life. That purpose, with the autonomy, comes that responsibility, and people build that. And finally, what is it that is required in order to act independently, autonomously, take ownership and responsibility towards a purpose that's larger than the individual, larger than the teams? It's mastery of something. You need to specialize in something that you excel in, that you can compete with anybody in the world as far as that particular topic or subject is concerned. And that's the mastery that you have chosen. Mastery in the area of Oracle, mastery in the area of technology. So with constant learning and challenges, that mastery is going to project this company into the orbit of achieving that purpose. And how do you measure this mastery? By writing books, by communicating. You have accomplished something, you have learned something, there is a certain thought process that you have gained, and that's something that you want to share with the rest of the world. To be challenged by others, if it is a hypothesis that you're proposing, to be learnt by others who can quote this and say, about Oracle, whatever I learned from a book that was published by individuals from Doyensys. So that is the mastery that you're trying to accomplish in this process. So if you remember autonomy in operations, a larger purpose in life and the purpose of the company, and trying to master one single area. The people who have written so many different books, they have specialized. One person is talking about security, another team is talking about administration of databases, etc. So if you have that mastery, you feel proud that you're one of the very few who have got that kind of a knowledge globally. You will be respected by the rest of the people, saying, okay, this man has to be put on the pedestal because he knows something that no one else knows, or he knows things that are more than what the others will be able to learn. So if you keep that in mind, that provides a very, very positive environment for people to work together, to build teams together and work on that. And the final point that I want to make is about where all these technologies are headed. Technology, particularly information technologies, it's all over. There is no industry that is not touched by technology. And there are technologies of the future, which is what you should be focusing on. Yes, we have textile manufacturing, mining, power generation. These are not industries of the past. They are relevant at every point in time. But there are companies that are investing in the future. People of today's age, particularly the millennials, they have to be constantly looking at the future, and we have to encourage them to look at the future. Because when I go to colleges and talk to students, they tell me one of the things that I've written about is, these are students who don't know much about the past. And they listen to some debates that happen either in parliament or in the newspaper. And one of the students asked me, everybody is talking about something that happened during emergency. What is emergency? When did that happen? What is that emergency all about? So I said, it's best that you don't understand what it is. I don't want to open your eyes to the differences that you cannot see. Let it be buried. Let's talk about the future. That's past. There are a different set of people who would worry about it. Let's talk about what are the things that are going to happen. And the 4 industry areas that are spending the most on research and development is space and aviation, healthcare, pharmaceutical companies, genomics companies. We talked about deep brain stimulation. One of the companies here in India, in Bangalore, Indian Institute of Science, there are more than 1 million people who have neuro implants in their brain that's modulating the brain waves and working. And they're all devices that have to be powered. And they have the charge anxiety, like the charge cars. The battery inside the pacemaker or the implant may run out. And so if it has to be replaced by another battery, again you have to go through surgery. So there is a team in Institute of Science, they have figured out a way of generating power in the human body using glucose fuel cells, almost the same way biologically we generate power. So much so that once an implant is done, you don't have to worry about power. So that's the type of advances that are taking place in the area of healthcare, pharmaceuticals and healthcare, renewable energy, we don't need to talk about, and finally communication and information technology and manufacturing. Again, areas where quantum computing, gallium nitride chips, etc., being experimented with here in Chennai by Foxconn and companies like that. Those are the areas where the future lies, and those are the areas that we should find opportunities in. And the common thread that is connecting all of them is software. The world is driven by software and systems. Every single one of those areas will fail if the software isn't right. The Chandrayaan mission, they're now saying simple failure was the accuracy with which they computed the speed, etc. If it had been to the extent of 10 to the power of minus 23 or something like that, this accident would not have happened. So it's the software that did not do its part. And all of us as software professionals have a great responsibility in building that future that is going to make our lives easy, that's going to give joy to millions of people in the country who are just about struggling to come above the poverty line. And it's that technology that requires mastery of the human mind and provides a great opportunity for all of us to realize our potential and our aspirations. Congratulations once again for all the authors here, and wish you the very best.